My baby left me, and I'm so blue. My heart is aching, my brain is goo. I get drunk and wander.
All right, welcome to Forcefed. I am Franklin, of course, and this is my lovely wife, who I've roped into this. And basically what it's going to be is we're going to take turns choosing things to make the other person watch. Right?
I guess so.
And what did I choose?
Redneck Zombies.
How did you like it?
I don't think I'll be adding it into a regular watching routine anytime soon.
It's probably one of my favorites, though. That's why I picked it. Because I like it a lot, and I like to see reactions.
What's the scary thing about doing this show?
Well, you'll get a chance to pick one next. So it starts out with a shot at like a mental hospital, and
it
there's
looks like it's been shot in a high school, like Kenton High School.
Yeah, it does look like they kind of converted it to, yeah, Kenton High School. But there's a guy burning himself with a cigarette, and then he like puts it out like right away onto his skin. Right? Is that what happens?
I can't remember.
You probably weren't paying attention at that point. But then there's a doctor that lights another one for him, like right after that.
That's a good doctor.
Well, I don't understand what this.
When was it made, though?
Yeah, I think it was set 86.
Oh, I knew that.
I didn't get that. But let's see what happens then. It goes to the soldier guy, the black soldier guy.
Oh yeah, with the dog.
Yeah, he's driving and listening to like really racist radio, like a pastor that's really racist or some shit like that. But he's I got some information on him. That's Tyrone Taylor. Did you know that?
I don't know Tyrone.
That's the actor's name.
I don't think it is.
It is. That's the actor's name that played the soldier. And you know how I know that?
You looked it up.
I looked it up, and everybody that's in this movie, except for one person, has only been in this movie. Like they weren't in anything.
Oh, this
else.
is the only movie they were ever in.
But the director who plays a character in it.
Which one was he?
Ellie Mae.
Oh.
But the director's name is Pericles Lewnes, and he's written a lot of Troma stuff. This is a Troma movie, which is why I love Troma movies, so you'll probably get more of these.
Yeah, I really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it was directed by Pericles Lewnes, and the screenplay was by Fester Smellman.
Yeah, Fester.
Based on a story by Zoofeet and P. Floyd Piranha. And I looked that up too. And
they're not real names, right?
No, they didn't want anybody to know who they were.
I see why.
But P. Floyd Piranha, I think, is the one that played Junior in the movie. We'll get to those characters in a little bit. But it starts off with this black soldier driving this Jeep, and he's in care, an army Jeep, and he's in care of one barrel.
That's it.
Of, as they refer to it, every time they refer to it, it's chemical toxic warfare waste. It's never just toxic waste. It's that whole line.
Is it labeled that way on the thing too?
It says caution toxic waste or something like that. But he's driving around and he has a dog that has sunglasses on. But this is what happens. He's driving and he's talking to his dog, and he has a roach, a marijuana roach, and he asks the dog if he wants a hit, and clearly the dog wants a hit. So he goes to pass it and drops it in his hand, and then swerves in this toxic warfare waste, which is horribly secured.
It wasn't. It was just going around.
First of all, it's just one guy in charge of something.
And where is the dog from?
That's his dog, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know. And like I half expected like this like really fake looking paw to reach up and take the roach.
God.
So,
it would have.
Like a paw on a stick, like someone's sitting there.
In an alternate universe, that happened. But, okay, so he loses the waste. It goes over the side of his truck. Then it cuts to our gang of
idiots?
Friends. I actually labeled it.
Friends. Yeah,
this is what I labeled this group of people: the gang of bad actors.
Yeah. I was thinking it was the other guy.
It took me a while to catch on to the names. What's the one guy's name? Shit. I pick him up later on. Well, the names I pick up here at this instance are, oh, yeah. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
But,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, you do.
I didn't pay much attention, though.
You've got to pay attention.
Sorry.
That's the point. But we have the old guy. I call him the old guy because all these people are like 30 or something like that, and he's like 40 or something.
He's supposed to be the dad, right?
He's just a friend because he's not a very dad-like person.
I keep thinking.
Yeah, his name's
I keep
Wilbur.
thinking the wrong group of people.
And he's played by Bob. Well, no.
Are these the campers that you're talking about?
Yeah, the campers. The gang of bad actors is what I'm gonna call them. But that Wilbur's played by James Housley, who was the only other. There's like two people that did multiple things. It was that Pericles Lewnes guy and this James Housley. He was an assistant makeup artist on this. So he was taking credit for a lot of stuff. Now the other characters, there was like a black chick and her boyfriend, who's also of the colored persuasion, and there's this guy. I just call him Deodorant Guy at this point, but he's kind of like feminine.
Yeah.
He comes off as.
Is he the gay one?
He's not gay though, because he makes all these. That's one of the things I noted later on.
Was he the guy with a neck scarf at one point, though?
He probably did,
He was pretty flamboyant,
and he always had
right?
a shirt that said something on it, and he always had deodorant. Like, and he was talking, but he.
It was hard to keep the character straight.
Honestly. Oh no! That's a different guy. There was.
Okay.
This is guy.
Not losing it then.
That was the guy with the soldier later on, but
Okay.
but this guy I called him the deodorant guy because he's always got deodorant. But he kind of seemed like he might have been gay. But the funny thing is that he was always making references to the girls, like, oh, I'd like to knock the bottom out of that, or whatever, but it was like a gay guy. I don't know, but...
I knew then, too, when he was talking about the deodorant, that it would come back in there. I said
He did say something about that.
Like,
but,
come on.
Okay, so now we cut back to the soldier, and this is where he's trying to get this barrel back onto his truck. And he runs into probably my favorite character in this movie, Ferd Mertz. Which is a play on Fred Mertz from the Lucy show, or whatever. I Love Lucy. But he's just a fat guy. It looks like he's written his initials with white out on his overalls.
Everybody wears overalls in this movie.
So Ferd Mertz has a shotgun. And, what's he say? Oh, fuck, I didn't write down the quotes that I like from that part. We don't need no revenuers poking around or something like that. He says something really whatever, and he takes the barrel and makes
use as a still.
Well, he doesn't know what he's gonna do it with. He's just taking it, I guess. Or maybe what did he say he was gonna make a still with it? He just wanted him off his land.
No, it wasn't him. No,
No, because what happens is...
It was just left there. He just wanted that guy gone, I think.
Oh, he was just trying to figure... Ferd was just trying to figure out what it was. Yeah. And so these other hillbillies come up, and they find Ferd with this barrel, and Ferd had shot up their still. So they were pissed off at him. And so Ferd's like, oh, I'm sorry about that, guys. I got you this new barrel right here. Look at this. Look at the... And he says my favorite thing of that part is, look at that paint job. Yellow. Fast. I love that.
Like it still has to be fast.
But so then you meet the hillbilly tribe, which is a fat bearded guy who wears like a vest all the time, and he wants to be
tied crop top.
He wants to be called Ellie Mae, and that's Pericles Lewnes, the director, producer, camera operator, and visual effects. Huh? But then you meet the other guys, Pa, Junior, and Jethro. But they want to move this barrel, and the thing I thought was weird was they roll it like of quite a distance to where their old still is at, right? Mm-hmm. And that's like all three of them are rolling it. And then when they get to where the still's at,
right, I know exactly, yeah.
They're like, all right, Billy Bob, and he goes, please, Dad, call me Ellie Mae, or whatever. He keeps saying that. That's his line. But then, so they're like making him pick it up by himself after they just struggled with it through the grass all the way to this fucking clearing. Now they're just gonna make Ellie Mae pick it up by himself.
And then he trips over nothing.
Yeah, he trips over nothing. The cap pops off. Glug, 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 glug,
green
glug.
Gatorade comes out of it.
Yeah, green Gatorade comes out, and goes into their
corn mash for the
corn squeezins.
moonshine.
But he said, there's a couple of good lines there. Paul smells it. He smells the corn squeezins and he goes, "Looks like fertilizer. Smells like iodine with a piss of bleach in it." And then he says something about how he better not ruin it. And he says, "You splattered it all over the corn squeezing, you otter ass." Okay, at this point, you hear a bell. And the guys get excited like it's the fucking ice cream truck. But what it is who?
The tobacco man
The
on the
tobacco
tobacco truck.
man. And he
was a creepy
That's
character.
another one of my favorite ones. They did accomplish quite a bit of good horror in the scenes and stuff.
That character was a good character, but I don't know that any of the others were.
It's unbelievable.
Fantastic.
There's so many scenes that I think they're calling back to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I'll point those out when we get to them. But Tobacco Man comes, and the boys love their dip. And they get like a basket of pipe tobacco for their dad, which falls all over the place.
Well, that's because he started like talking like ominously about how they're gonna get addicted to it, and they're gonna want to stop, but they won't be able to.
Yeah, I think he's probably... First of all, he's bad for his own business.
Yeah, that's not good for business at all.
But he is the perfect anti-tobacco spokesman. Like,
oh yeah.
Well,
and I kind of think that they were referencing that maybe that was what was happened to him, and why he was
definitely
under or whatever.
Yeah.
Because he said that at first it would rot.
Dark times are coming. Dark times. But then it comes back, and the gang of bad actors is walking through the woods. And they're looking for this perfect camping spot and they keep saying, a pond to piss in. Which evidently is fantastic to do. To just let loose in a pond. In nature.
I had no idea.
But, I don't know. But he comes in with a scene with the black guy convincing, remember he was convincing his girlfriend?
Yes.
It comes in with him convincing her to eat cum, right?
Well, yeah.
He says it tastes like pineapple.
I think that the idea was to get her to
eat cum.
Well, the process of getting that, yeah.
But let's see. Yeah, Wilbur's all uptight for some reason, and then this is the first time you see the drunk guy, which I had to point out too.
Yeah.
But
I didn't even notice it.
He's throughout the whole movie. This is another of my favorite characters. This is why I like this movie, because there's characters like this. This guy just drinks. That's all he does. They'll shoot to him, and he'll take a swig of his pint. Sometimes he has a beer can. Sometimes he has a wine bottle. It's always different. Did you notice that?
No. I told you I didn't even notice he was in the show.
Yeah, but that's the first time you see him. And then it cuts directly to the soldier getting yelled at by his superior. And... which doesn't make much sense, because his superior tells him he can have the whole fucking army for what's in that tank. Now, okay, if that tank's that important,
yeah, why did they
send him on a rickety truck without even chaining it down or anything by himself?
Yeah,
in the first place.
They sent the guy with his dog, and if a guy has a dog with sunglasses, don't send him with the one thing that he can't be trusted with.
You can't take that guy seriously at all. But okay, then it goes to the hillbillies making moonshine, which looks like raspberry Kool-Aid.
No, it doesn't look like raspberry Kool-Aid.
Blueberry Kool-Aid.
It's not blue, it's green.
It's like aquamarine.
You are crazy. It was like neon highlighter green.
Okay, well, whatever. But,
blue.
What did I write there? Oh, they finally get to the perfect camping spot, our gang of idiots. They get to the perfect camping spot. There's the pond to piss in, as they say. And then it cuts back. There's like a lot of cutting at this point. And it goes back to Ellie Mae doing the deliveries, because he has to do the moonshine deliveries. Now that they've made the purple, blue, aquamarine.
Well, they didn't even really need to have like the campers in any of it until they get killed later. Right. Like they could have just come up on them later at a campsite.
Exactly.
It made no point in having them.
There was a lot of exposition that there was no reason
for. Oh my god, there's a spider! It's on you. That's just great.
That's little. That's nothing.
I don't care.
That was a dandy long legs. That was nothing.
I know, but it just came out of nowhere. I don't like
Okay.
slurps.
Oh, and when Ellie Mae's doing the deliveries, he sings this little tune. Do you remember the tune that he sang?
I can't say that I do.
Ain't got no shoes, ain't got
Oh,
no
I
shoes.
did, I actually-
My dog is dead, ain't got no shoes.
I actually wrote that. No, it's not his dog is dead.
What?
It's his grandpa's dead.
Oh.
It's his
that
grandpa's
it?
dead because I actually wrote that down in my notes that are mysteriously gone.
Okay. But Ellie Mae picks up the hitchhiker. Now, this is the first time that the Texas Chainsaw Massacre references start coming in, because that's an exact thing that happens in Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
They pick up a hitchhiker, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like the same kind of thing. He's got a camera. The guy in Texas had one too. Instead of a straight razor, which Texas Chainsaw Massacre had, this guy has a safety razor, and he'll give you a real good
Oh yeah,
shave.
but
he cuts him on the arm, and whatever.
How? I don't know, because
Cuts him on the arm. He kicks him out, and then that guy grabs one of those moonshines out of the back, instead of like the smearing his hand on the side, like texting, whatever. But he takes it, drinks it, throws up, whatever. And there's this ADR sound. Do you know what that is? It's like audio they record outside in a studio and put it over video of some guy like vomiting.
yeah.
And
all of the sound effects were like there were a lot of those.
yeah, they were
Like there was a whistle at some point when he threw something like. Like what?
Okay, so it cuts back to the gang, and Wilbur's rolling this joint. And see, this is why I say he's not dead, because he was like rolling this joint. But it's made of a million papers. It's like the most. He's just got a bunch of papers, and he's wrapping them around.
It was like as big as the crowd.
Yeah, and yeah, wow. But then this is like they're getting ready to party or whatever, and then it cuts back again. One of these quick cuts back to, and this is where it goes. A cut of him rolling that big joint, and then it cuts to the drunk guy licking the side of his can or something. He's licking his beer can. And then it cuts to the boobs. Remember that? When it just
Oh yeah, no, I do
boobs.
remember the boobs.
But they
But
were
it wasn't
no
actually
non-boobs.
a girl. It was just somebody rubbing a very small pair of boobs.
Yeah, it was a girl, though. It was a girl.
It took me a minute though to decide if it was a man or a woman. They were very
But
small.
the guys that that he's delivering to here keep calling them knockers. I love knockers. But they're not. There's nothing
They're not
there.
knocking on anything.
There's nothing there.
Knocking on anything.
Oh, okay. This is the overly long zombie transition party sequence that
They
was
had a lot of
merging
scenes that were like
really long.
too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't make sense.
Well, this is the one where it's a part zombie transition, the hillbillies turning into zombies, and then part confusing party. Because it's like they're smoking weed and they're drinking. But they make it out like they're on acid. Because later on there is a part where the one dude's on acid.
Right,
And it looks the same damn way. It's like all like 80s.
When he was doing that... Never mind.
Anyways. So...
Well, it'll come up later, I mean, so I just...
Yeah, then it cuts. It goes. We're gonna go back with Ellie Mae, still delivering to the lady with the baby in the dishwasher in the washer. Do you remember that? You were. I think you looked up. You must have been writing something down, but you looked up and you're like, "Did she just give that baby moonshine?"
Oh yeah, I knew she had. Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was. You could see the green through the little bottle.
But
she had.
yeah, that was weird. But let's see. The next thing that happens is the gang wakes up, but we are gonna have to take a break because we need to take a break. So we'll be right back. Right?
Yes.
Are you having
Apparently.
fun?
A blast.
You're watching.
Forcefed.
Yeah, you forgot, didn't you?
I almost said fed up.
Oh, is that a better title?
No, I like forcefed. That's appropriate. Forcefed.
Well, we'll have your shit 60. Anyways, we'll be right back. gang wakes up. They're awake.
They're awake.
They're awake, and the one girl goes to take shit. You know how I know that?
How do you know that?
Because she took a roll of toilet paper. And
Girls wipe regardless, not guys. Girls do, though.
I like to think that she was going to take a shit. Because she was going real far away from the campsite.
Okay.
But anyways, she finds the still.
Okay.
And also Zombie Jethro,
Okay.
who attacks her and sucks out her eye, which her friend, the black girl, sees. Do you remember
I
that?
thought the black girl was the one that was going.
No, the black girl went to find her.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember now.
But she runs into the still, Zombie Jethro kills her, and then the black girl comes up while he's sucking her eyeball out. One of 2 eyeball sucking out scenes in this movie.
Well, and then another guy gets his eyeballs, like, popped out with thumbs.
Yeah, that's the other one where it gets sucked out.
Well, he didn't suck them out.
He did, he picked it up and then he sucked it out.
Well, maybe he did, but they popped him out of his eye socket.
Well,
He didn't suck it out of the eye socket.
But, so the black girl sees this and she runs. And then she runs in
Good idea.
to old Bird Mertz,
Bird.
who is going to rape her.
Yeah, that seems like he seems the type.
He's going to do it because he's
Well,
like,
he
what are
says-
you doing out here with nobody around, all alone, by yourself? Or whatever. And then he's like, why don't you just lay down? And I forget what he said.
No, he said something about, you just need to calm, because she's, panicking, like, he's trying to kill
let
us.
me help you take your clothes off.
What you gotta do is just calm down and let me help you loosen up those clothes. That's gonna help.
So then Zombie Jethro catches up to the black girl finally, because Ferd stopped her. And
Thanks, Ferd.
Ferd's like,
Why she kept talking to him, I don't know. Run.
she couldn't get away, he had a hold of her.
No, he didn't. Not the whole time.
Well, kinda.
He had to let go to get a hold of that belt she had on.
But then Zombie Jethro comes up and Ferd goes, you're looking a little green around the gills there, Jet. Or what?
Yeah, that's what he said.
He's like, is this yours? Points to the girl. And he goes, oh, and he pushes her, like gives her up right there. So then, oh fuck. Jethro bites her throat and kills her. Yeah. And then Ferd finds the still himself when he's running away. Mm-hmm. As he saunters away and then dips into the...
Yeah, I don't think he runs anywhere.
But he finds the still. And, of course, this is a great part here. First of all, he finds the Clemson jizz, as he calls it.
Ugh.
He goes, ooh, don't mind if I do. And he picks up one of the jars and he goes, too bad it's that Clemson jizz or whatever. I guess that's the name of the other hillbillies, the Clemsons. He makes a joke about fucking the half-dead body of the girl that got killed there.
It's not half dead.
It was half gone.
Oh, okay.
It had been eaten half the way. And he's like, well, I guess I won't have to put a bag over her head this time. And he like... goes to undo his pants and he slaps his own hand. Do you remember that?
Right.
But he takes a jar. I think he takes a jar and drinks it at that point. Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
And then it goes to where we meet Mama and Perky. And Perky's a pig that she carries around, and she goes out looking for her sons and her husband. And she goes to the still, and did you notice that she totally disregarded the murder scene? Completely?
That doesn't surprise me.
She didn't say anything about it. And it was right there. And she...
doesn't mind.
What did she say? I guess them boys are off on a tear again, or something like that. So she takes a jar to go and goes home to drink it, because she doesn't want to get lost and drunk in the woods.
Safety first?
Like you do. But, so... Then it cuts back to our friends.
Your friends.
And they're looking for their friends. And they find the black girl.
What's left of her?
And then the drunk guy's back again. You see him again. Like, this is the second appearance of the drunk guy. He's just back in the background.
I didn't really pay attention.
It's because it's like a Where's Waldo thing for me. I see him pop up. But I think that might be because I've watched the movie so many times. He's one of my favorite parts. But then we cut back to Ellie Mae, who's still delivering at what I called the Chicken Weirdo Murder House. Do you remember that? He walks in and there's like a video of little chicks being gassed on this little machine. The guy's picking up little baby chicks and
I don't
gassing
remember
them.
that part. Is that the where?
And there's like a weird or something, and there's like a guy, an Italian-looking guy that comes out of the kitchen, a big fat Italian-looking guy.
Well, then there was also a guy that was like holding a girl.
Yeah,
hostage.
I like how I went to the chicken thing.
Yeah, before that's what confused me.
He's got the duct taped girl, and he's just like got her. What's he got, a leash? Does he have a little thing he's holding? What's he doing?
I can't remember what
he's just staring at her though, but.
And she's like screaming, trying to.
Yeah, and that's just.
And he just acts kind of like looks around and acts like.
Yeah.
Nothing's going on. This is normal.
And he just delivers the moonshine and goes about his day. But then we're back to the gang again. See, these cuts are so like random. Why do we need all the gang? Our gang, our friends.
Well, there's a gang of idiot campers, and then there's a gang of idiot hillbillies.
Those from now on will be the zombie hillbillies. That's what I'll call them, hillbillies or zombies or whatever. But the gang finds the other girl at the still. Her half of body or whatever. And I found out her name's Sally right at this point. It's Sally! I didn't know it before that.
Not important.
And one of my favorite parts of this scene is when the black dude, I wish I could get his name, Bob.
Is that when he gets
Bob's
scared?
The black guy. No, well, he starts to freak out at this point. And his hair starts getting bigger and bigger.
I was just going to say that it's like... it gets real straight.
He sees this murder scene, and the first thing he does... See, this is why these people keep turning into zombies. Everyone's an idiot and drinking green shit in a jar.
Right,
just out of nowhere. But Bob runs up and goes, I'm drinking this shit! And he grabs it and starts trying to open it. And that is hilarious.
Somebody takes it away from him, though. He doesn't actually...
Yeah, he doesn't drink it. But this is where Bob starts to freak out. This is where he begins to freak out. And the gang at this point solves the mystery because they see the barrel that they used for the still.
No, this is where it starts to get... He takes acid now?
No, he had taken it earlier, but we don't find that out until later. Oh. He had woke up in the morning and took it and was going to be in the meadow with the flowers and whatever. But... he starts to freak out. He's noticeably crazy at this point. The gang figures out that the toxic waste barrel has caused these people to something crazy to happen.
Right.
And now we cut into I just wanted to make a note here that the soundtrack to this movie is incredible. It's like all original songs about redneck zombies, and
yeah. See, that confused me for a second because I was like trying to come up with one of the songs that was on there because it was either like you were being genuine and it was actually a good song, or you were just being full of shit, which I figured, and it was like an awful song, but I couldn't like think of the song until you said.
I genuinely
it was
like
them. Well, yeah, no,
really
there's
do.
no surprise. But they were really, yeah.
Okay, now this is where we meet, as you referred to earlier, the gay guy with the scarf, because
right, and he was gay.
He was gay.
Yeah.
But this is the point where we meet. We're back with the soldier who's trying to get the barrel, and the army has generously let him have one gay guy with a scarf. Who is really not much help at all in this scenario. I don't even think he has a gun.
The dog was gone after the crash, so...
I wonder if the dog died in that crash.
I don't know. You don't get to find out. He just left without it. He did not care.
But he also gets another guy who's just a generic soldier who has a big-ass gun. And... Okay, hold on here. Oh, yeah, the gay guy kind of looks like Freddie Mercury. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I guess he does.
He's got like a mustache and whatever. Now we go back to our friends who are burying their other friends. And Wilbur chokes Bob at this point.
Poor Bob.
I forget why. Probably because Bob's flipping out about something.
Yeah.
I think he blames Wilbur for them being that far into the woods or something.
Well, wasn't he like the guide?
Yeah. And so then this is where, fuck.
Well, don't
I have confusing notes on here.
At some point, because
it's coming up.
Bob does the autopsy, and it's like really.
Well, this is where the one guy dies. See, I had such confusing notes here, but the deodorant guy dies here. His name's Andy.
But that's where they find out that the deodorant, when you spray it on him, like dries him out.
Yeah, because he gets bit in the neck by Zombie Jethro.
He just happens to have that deodorant handy.
And he sprays it right in his face, and he melts.
Jethro.
Yeah, Zombie Jethro, and
then
Bob's hair is fucking ridiculous at this point.
Perfectly up, like
it's
like
looking crazy.
Straight up.
And he's turned into a cartoon. I thought his voice got really high like a Mickey Mouse, and his hair was huge and his eyes were wide, but we find out that he is on acid at this point because he's evidently pre-med and these people want him to do an autopsy. Now I think even if you do an autopsy, don't you have to like have like reference materials to like look at things, and like wouldn't you, if you're pre-med, wouldn't you need like reference materials?
Maybe if you're pre-med, but I guess you would know.
Something?
Well, if you're pre-med, doesn't that mean pre-medical school?
Yeah. But he wouldn't know how to do an autopsy.
Well, that's what I'm thinking.
But they force him on acid to do an autopsy.
Yeah.
Like, they get pissed off that he's on acid because he tells them that he took just a little tiny bit and he thought he would...
I don't think it takes a lot.
He evidently was peaking at this point. I don't know. And so this is the really long... trippy autopsy sequence.
Forever long.
Which
did not make sense.
What,
maybe if you were on acid while watching that, it wouldn't have been
he's
too
pulling
long,
things out and he thinks they're like a shoe or a beer can or whatever.
Yeah,
this was really long. But there is a lot more soundtrack awesomeness at this point. This is like some really cool stuff is going on with the music. I liked it a lot. It was good. Then followed up by a brief delivery sequence, and now we're back to the autopsy where we're doing the. Clearly, Bob has got his shit together at this point because he's very scientific. He's got 2 zombie hands and 2 different kinds of deodorant, and the only kind that works on zombies is the aluminum chlorohydrate brand.
And see, not brand, but I thought they all had aluminum whatever in it, because that's why you're not supposed to use. You have to use an all-natural deodorant or you'll get breast cancer.
I will.
Men can get breast cancer, yes, but yeah, that's why you're not supposed
scary.
to. You're easily scared.
Okay, now Ellie Mae comes home. He's finally done, which took him. I wanted to make sure to say this: 2 days to finish delivering. Because there's at the party sequence time...
Does that surprise you, though, that it takes him 2 days?
Not really, but he's just evidently doing it all through the night, because he during the party scene, they're still cutting back and forth to him delivering. And I guess this must be, around noon, you say, he's coming back? Maybe it didn't take that long, maybe just overnight. I don't know. I don't know how long the time period is.
Well, it started one day and ended the next. Yeah, I think it was like an evening to morning.
But first thing he's going to do when he walks through the door is take a swig of that moonshine, his earned treat.
Yum.
And he spits it out, ADR sounds.
And then he drinks it again.
Yeah, and then he takes another drink. But then he notices that when he's spitting out, he notices that the pig Perky is dead and a mess.
Which how he didn't notice it was dead, because it was like it looked like somebody had opened a door over the mess.
Yeah, it was flat too. That was the thing that was fucking weird about that.
Nice artwork.
Yeah, this is very hard to read on. It's got some of my son's artwork on it, as you can't see. But this is where the soldiers get a flat. From what? Do you remember what they got a flat from?
I didn't know they had a flat.
They got a flat tire from the broken mason jar. And I don't know if they were considering it part of the problem also, but his safety razor was there as well, of the hitchhiker. And this is where I find out the other soldier's name. His name's Sherman.
The black one?
No, the
gay one.
No, the guns. The guy. Oh. His name's Sherman, and he has the biggest. He has the only gun I see, the biggest one. But he's and they see the hitchhiker, and he's a zombie clearly. So he's gonna go fight him. He's gonna go fight him.
Good idea.
Even though he has a big ass gun, he's gonna go fight him because he hasn't tasted redneck ass in a while or something like that.
Who has a big gun? The zombie? I thought
No,
Sherman had a big
did.
gun.
I really don't know why he went to go kill him though, or go
Who
fight
went
him.
to go find him?
Sherman. He went to go fight the hitchhiker zombie.
Why not? He's got a gun.
He does.
He's a
I don't
big
even.
guy.
He didn't even know there were zombies. He just goes to fight a hillbilly. I think that's what his goal was.
Oh.
But of course he gets.
I thought he knew he was a zombie.
Oh, maybe he did. I don't know.
I thought that's why he was gonna go kill it.
Let's not get caught up here.
Oh.
Because we can't really. That's not important.
I'm sorry.
You know. But he gets to throw it out, and then here come the zombies. And the gay guy thinks that the zombies. Do you remember what he thought the zombies might do? They might do a Deliverance style, you know?
No?
A Deliverance style, humping. He wants to be like...
I didn't see Deliverance.
It's like, hillbillies, I guess butt fucking. But he thinks there's gonna be some gay action going on, so he goes over just flirts into the zombie horde and gets killed.
Yeah, he had it coming if he
So then the only guy left is the black soldier, and he runs off, and he says, "This is where he meets our gang." Mm-hmm. And he says, "There's a bodacious horde of redneck zombies, and they're coming this way." And when he says that, they subtitle it because you can't hardly understand it. But okay, we're just gonna run through the end here. Bird kills a soldier, kills the soldier, and eats his eye. So, yeah, that's the thumb popping one. The gang is not running.
No, why would you run? They watched that happen.
They watch that happen. They are not running.
They hang out.
There is
an
excessive amount of not running in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first part. They're not running. There's zombies coming from every direction. This is their plan. I called it the old stay still, and then disorganize. Stay still and then completely disorganize yourself. Everybody run in different directions.
Eyes get blown from his head.
And then all this happens really fast. Wilbur is ripped apart. It's a kind of a cool effect for this movie. It really worked well, I thought.
I could.
Okay, at this point, the drunk guy produces a wine bottle out of nowhere. He just has one because he polishes off his pint because he's like all. He's just trying to dodge and drink, but the girl does. This is the girl's strategy because Wilbur's getting ripped apart. They're eating him, and the girl decides she's going to pull the old stand still, squirm, and scream. And she does that for fucking ever, and that's all she does. Okay, and now we're back.
She was the bigger of the girls.
Yeah, she was the biggest. She's the only one that really survives. But
did she survive? I thought she didn't.
Yeah, she did. Oh, it's a great ending. You might have missed some of the points at the end. The drunk guy is the drunk guy points to where Bob's at. Bob's hiding in the tree. And then, or no, that's not what happens. The drunk guy pushes Bob into the zombies. Like, they're both trying to fight to hide behind this tree. And the drunk guy pushes Bob into the zombies, but Bob's smart. And so he acts like a zombie. Mm-hmm. And then the zombies, he points them to old Drunky over there. Okay, and of course he dies at that point. Drunk guy dies. And the zombies get Bob also. At this point, the girl is still standing there and squirming. I don't even know if she's standing. I think she's sitting down. And she could have gotten away.
She could have.
But she runs through the woods and stops. Do you remember that? She stops and hides behind a tree while the zombies pass her.
Yeah.
That's a stupid idea, first of all. Why would you think that would work, and why wouldn't you keep running?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, and in theory, you ought to be faster than a zombie.
Right. So then she decides to run after they pass, and this is another Texas Chainsaw Massacre reference here, because when she walks up, they show that generator. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. And that's
Mama.
fucking totally in the house, looked like it and shit. But Mama's there. There's all the zombies are there.
Isn't the baby in there too?
You see the baby during
the
you see the baby during the gang getting killed there. Mm-hmm. But let's see here. She kills Paul with a hammer. Ma dies by machete decapitation, and this is weird. Jethro's there again. Jethro was the one they autopsied, right?
Right.
Okay, Jethro's on the table, cut open. Like, maybe, what do you think? They maybe found him and brought him back there?
They had to.
I don't understand.
That's weird.
Like zombies that have... But how did Paul get back there, too? Because where the hell did he go?
I have no idea.
But you also see Zombie Jr. This is the only time that you see him. And that guy was one of the writers, I think. But he gets his brains blown out. He gets the brain blown out. And then she runs for an eternity. It's one of those really long segments.
Scene.
But she's stopped again by the guy who stops people, Zombie Ferd. He's zombie now, and he commences the raping. He rapes her at this point, and to fruition, he rapes her. He comes. He makes a. Do you remember that?
I didn't know a zombie could do that.
Yeah, he does it. So then she kills him with a corn cob in the eye, I think. Yeah. I didn't write that down, but I think that's what happens. And I think she does it, she does it twice, or they show it twice. I'm not sure. And then she is saved by who?
Tobacco Man?
The Tobacco Man. And evidently he takes her to that horrible mental hospital at the high school. And after that, it does the cut to the black screen in the credits, and you hear a baby cry.
Zombie baby.
Zombie Ferd baby. All right, Martha. What do you rate Redneck Zombies? 1 out of 5.
Yeah.
I give it a 5.
You would. You can't tell me that you have not seen a better movie than that one.
I love that movie, and it's because I used to watch it all the time.
You have to admit that you have seen a movie that's better than that. It can't be a 5.
Of course
4.5.
And we'll get to those on another episode. Do you know what you're going to watch next episode?
Not a clue.
Well, we'll look forward to that.
Something you're going to hate.
See you later.